It's a photo of Reese. So yeah, carrying on. Christmas, we had Christmas dinner. I don't have traditional Christmas dinner, which I don't think is like.
Yeah, so I wanted to have this as like a little section in the
Okay,
podcast. So
cool.
I want to chat about what like Christmas traditions that we have that are the same and that are different.
Okay. Well, firstly, dinner. I don't have traditional Christmas dinner. I never have. I've never had a traditional Sunday dinner because I grew up with pretty much my mum, and my grandparents. They used to go out to India and Thailand, and they used to like when they come back, they were there for like 9 to 10 months. I don't know if I've actually explained this on the podcast, but like growing up, I lived with my grandparents because they used to fly away. It was a case where my mum, like we live in like a big family house, so it was a case where like when they'd come back for 3 or 4 months of the year, probably at most, like there were some times where they were gone for like the whole year almost. Like we'd have dinner with them on a Sunday, but it was like the foods that they enjoyed because they don't like my family don't eat your standard. Like I've never had gravy of anything. I wouldn't know what gravy tastes like. And that might sound really weird, but I've always been like I don't really like want to try foods. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't like it. I just wouldn't look at it and go I want to have that. So my Christmas dinner has always been like food that we actually enjoy. Granted, now that Saya's back in the mix, well, I say back in the mix, like yeah, back in the mix.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, we were together.
Good old days.
Yeah, call her back. No, now that Sanaya's in the mix, like she makes, like with my mum, like normal sort of like traditional Christmas dinner. Saw a meme and it was like my mum and my sister, but I sent it to Sanaya, and it was like Messi and Mbappe at the World Cup final, like high five, and it's like my mum and my sister in the kitchen today, and it was literally like Sanaya, my mum in the kitchen, and Messi and Mbappe just going against each other, cooking up different food. So basically they sorted like they had like kind of like Sanaya had a usual traditional Christmas dinner, and then I have like Mexican like burrito wrap sort of things, which probably sounds like some people
I think it's quite cool.
That's
like
weird, but then I don't know. It's to me it's normal.
Yeah,
you know?
but I think why if you don't like that food and if it's not what you've been brought up on, why would you have it? You know, like it's people like just do traditions because it's a tradition.
Yeah,
like you don't need to do that.
No.
Like my family are like or growing up I was vegetarian. Now all my family are like vegan.
Yeah,
I think / vegetarian. I'm not sure who's what.
Yeah,
I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, we can't. It changes.
Sorry if I'm offending anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody is. But yeah, like so that's why me and Shannon have Christmas dinner at hers because it kind of caters to what we want to have more. So it's like cool, we'll do that then. That's fine. Yeah. But yeah, like I think a lot of people would just have the normal traditional Christmas dinner because it's just what you do. Yeah. I do think a lot of people enjoy it. Like I enjoy it, but I was never one to have like like people. A lot of my mates growing up, every single Sunday had Sunday dinner. Yeah. Like whereas like we never ever did that. Like we literally had Christmas dinner. That was the only Sunday dinner we'd have all year. Like, and it was just that. So like I like it probably more so because it's quite
like a unique.
Yeah.
The one time a year.
So it was always like it was always nice growing up, but I think for a lot of people it's just like an excuse to just eat more than their normal Sunday dinner. Whereas for me, it's like, I actually really enjoy this food because I only ever had it very rarely at home, and I did like it back in the day. What's
your favourite thing on the plate? I'm interested because I have no idea.
To be fair, the chicken was banging. We didn't have turkey, we had chicken. It was very good.
Yeah.
I do like pigs in blankets.
Yeah, I've never had
but
a pig
like
in
they're
blanket.
dangerous
Because you can cheat loads.
Oh mate, yeah, they're like tiny and they're literally just sausage and bacon. It's just like pure fat. Obviously, it's a small amount of protein, but it's they're not. Like they're very Moorish. You just eat loads, but I think I had like 4 or 5 on my plate, which was good. Because if she'd have said like,
"Do you only had 4 or 5 plates?
Do you want to serve yourself?" I'm like, just chuck them all on. We didn't have parsnips. Now, if you're listening, Diane,
where the fuck were the parsnips?
Parsnips won't go amiss next year. But yeah, we didn't have parsnips, but like sprouts. I really like sprouts. To be fair, Yorkshire pudding. I'm just going through everything that was on there now.
I've had a Yorkshire pudding. I've had 2 in my life. I thought they were quite nice.
Yorkshire puddings are good.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was literally chicken, Yorkshire pudding, gravy, cauliflower, carrots.
Yeah.
I don't think there was broccoli, but there were sprouts.
Yeah.
Potato. Stuffing. Stuffing's a good one.
Never had stuffing.
Yeah, it's decent to be fair.
Yeah.
I think that was it. And gravy, yeah. But again, like I ate what I wanted to eat. I'm at that point now post show where it's like I've eaten enough food to know that I'm not going to feel better for eating more. You know what I mean? When I've eaten to the point where I'm like, I keep saying this to my clients as well, like, you can't be reliant on satiety signalling post show.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, if you wait until you're full, you're gaining £10 the next day.
Yeah.
Like, because you're just not full. And even if you are, you convince yourself, like, oh, I'm all right.
I
I'm not that full.
After about an hour or half an hour,
Yeah, I could probably still have a bit
Yeah.
more. And it's like, so that I've made sure that I'm not doing that, because like post show there were points where I did that and I was like, oh, I don't really feel that full yet. So like I could have a bit more, and then I'd gain like 2-3 pounds the next day, and I'd wake up and my face would be like puffy, and I'd be like, I don't feel like I overate, but I obviously did.
Yeah.
Otherwise that wouldn't happen, and I don't feel good for it. So like I've learned to not do that. So yeah, like I say, that was like our Christmas dinner. But I thought it'd be good to just chat about what you have.
Yeah. Well, Christmas
because people
traditions,
think
mate,
like, what the fuck?
I've heard a few people like opening presents up on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Shannon.
Like,
I think Shannon used to do that. I think people do one present on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like you do one, but then like I've heard like I had a client today be like, oh yeah, we opened all our presents like Christmas Eve. And I was like, so what's Christmas about then, bro? Like, I don't really get that.
So growing up, like to be fair, I'll go on to another tradition in a minute. But growing up, like for us, obviously I've got 2 sisters. It was like on the sofa at home, there'd be my pile, Lara's pile, Thea's pile of presents, and like we'd go down in the morning and like get really excited because Santa had been, and go and get my mum and dad, and then we'd go in and stuff. And my mum and dad would have their presents on the chair. So like that was like how it worked. Like we'd never have Christmas presents on Christmas Eve because we didn't know we'd had any yet. You know what I mean? It was like, well, we don't know if he's been yet. Like we've got to wait for Santa to come.
Go for a wee at like 3 a.m. and I'd like sneak down, look down the stairs and go, yeah, Santa's
been.
Yeah, he's been. Might go open them all now.
Of course he's been. I've been a good boy.
I've been a wicked boy. There we go. So I go back to bed all happy, thinking get to.
But I think Shannon might have had a tradition of doing one present, but we've got a tradition now, and I didn't do it this year, where Shannon has this Christmas Eve box.
Yeah.
Where I think it was maybe like the first year that we were together, she made it, and well, she didn't make the box, but she bought like a Christmas box, and she put stuff in there. So it was like Christmas pajamas, like a hot chocolate set, a jigsaw, and like maybe like a Christmas game or something. Yeah. And she was like, I want us to do this every year. So we've got like different, like one year I'll do it, one year you do it, and this year was my year, and I forgot. Oh, okay. So we didn't do the Christmas Eve box. It was like 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I was like, oh, have you done the Christmas Eve box? She was like, no, it's your year. I was like, oh, sorry.
Merry Christmas.
And she was like, I knew you'd forget. And I was like, why don't you just say then? Like, if she'd have said to me like 2 weeks ago, oh, it's your year, I'd have been like, oh, sound. Yeah, I'll do
Christmas
it. So yeah, I ruined Christmas.
Ruined Christmas.
But to be fair, we opened it, and what was in there from last year was a photo album that her sister had bought us that we hadn't used yet. Okay. A Where's Wally Christmas book that I don't think we used. Yeah. A jigsaw that's been in there for 4 years, but it's 1,000 pieces, and we're like, oh, fuck that. Yeah, every year we're like, we're not doing that. And then we don't know where the Christmas pajamas are anyway. Lost. So we didn't even wear them. So that's a bit of a tradition.
Yeah. Any other traditions that like you've heard people do or have?
Family orgies?
Yeah, naked twister.
Yeah, naked twister. That's pretty normal though.
Yeah, I think that's really normal. I've always just done that, me and my mum. Just me and my mum. Like, no matter
You're missing out. I've got my dad to play with.
No, it's good that Russell goes home like just a few days before Christmas.
He's not invited.
Yeah, he's not invited to that. It's just
you mates with him yet?
No. Mate, it was worse. First day, fucking out worse. I'll tell you about it after the podcast. That'll be after the podcast.
Okay, right. Shall we open your present?
Yeah, I was going to say, my mum's stepdad hates me.
He doesn't. Your mum's stepdad?
Mum, oh, that's weird. Yeah,
your family is weird. Yeah, your mum sleeps with a stepdad. You sleep with your mum.
Yeah, it's so weird. Right, so